Speaking of the way environments impact substance abuse, based on your own experiences, what do you think is different now for teenagers our age that's different from how it was when you were in high school, based on like social media and other factors?
Sure. I think, social media plays a huge factor. I think cell phones, have given kids so much more freedom and access to either hide or engage, right? Those are things that we didn't have as kids. But I also think the pressure that comes with that, the social pressure, and being part of it, and when it's captured on a Friday night and you're not there, you feel left out. So I think there's a lot of pressure, social pressure that comes to that. But I also think that kids today are growing up with much more substances. Like there's things today that I never heard of when I was a kid. Whether it's the potency of marijuana and dabbing and edibles, or to, Oxycontin and Perk 30s and fentanyl and, all of this stuff didn't exist when we were high school kids. And what I've seen, especially, through my wellness center, where people live to get back on track, are a lot of young adults that go to college and, they're stuck, they're sad and they're struggling with substances and, they don't have the motivation to get up and go. They're seeking help much sooner than I believe they did 20 years ago.
Going back to the whys, like why you started, the youth asset team helped put together this postcard, part of our Darien campaign that targets binge drinking. And it kind of illustrates the reasons why teens turn to alcohol or other substances. But it's basically a red Solo cup. And some of the reasons are overwhelmed with college applications, I deserve to have some fun, don't feel like I fit in. What do you think were some other whys that made you turn to alcohol and drugs?
I think the pressure that I put on myself and as well as outside pressure that pertain to athletics was enormous. It was tough for me, especially being in a house where my parents, my dad was struggling with alcoholism, and to this day he still is. But at that age, early high school, freshman, sophomore year, to see my parents start to trend towards a divorce, there were kind of multiple layers for me, right? I was trying to make my mom and dad happy. I was trying to keep our family together. I knew that I wasn't in control of that, but it was painful to watch, as well as the pressure of being a very, very gifted athlete and managing, whether it's colleges coming to recruit me, scout me, I have to perform in front of them, and always trying to be at my best. And, that's not an easy thing to take on at a young age.
Yeah, I feel like those are definitely some reasons that are still prevalent today for kids.
Of your sobriety and your journey towards sobriety, who helps you in tough situations when you're down mentally over the past however many years since you've become sober? Who helps you stay sober?
I truly believe, like I tell people at my wellness center, that to find the starting five, to find 4 other people in your life that are going to support you and be there for you and show up to be in the game with you. I have so many people that not only look out for my best interest, but my family's as well around recovery. I have great friends, great coworkers, partners, that my recovery's first, 100%. The success that I've had in the last 12 years is all based off of recovery and the solid people that I've had in my life that have helped me build this to where we're at today. So great friends, great mentors, great coaches. That's the thing, for kids, especially athletes, right? They aspire to be on the best AAU team. They want to play with the best. They want to make the A team. Some students want to sit in the best classrooms and with the best teachers. But on a Friday and Saturday night, they're not very careful at choosing who they're going to spend time with. They're not very strategic. You know, and that's where I think we've suffered, you know, that, and I think parents as well, it's like they put so much academic pressure on you and they put so much athletic pressure on you. But where are they on Fridays and Saturday nights when you're not feeling good enough?
We've actually done some work with the 06820 campaign here in Darien, speaking about those exact things and how the pressure from academic or social life can lead into these substance abuse.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on kids to be in the right group or the right team, but never to make like the right decision on those Friday and Saturday nights.
What is the advice you have for parents, not only in Darien, but just in general, to kind of start those conversations around the whys of substance abuse?
I think there's a lot of parents that wake up one day and they realize I have a 25, 30, 35-year-old son or daughter that suffers from substance use. And, you know, they reflect back and a lot of them would do it different. They would maybe tighten the reins in high school more and not be, you know, surrender to the fact that kids have this rite of passage to get high, to smoke weed and get drunk on Friday nights. They would let their brain develop and work on other, you know, elements of their life and aspects of their life. So, you know, those conversations I think are critical. And unfortunately, there's still parents out there that are going to say kids will be kids. But they won't say that if they're the parent that is dropping their child off to my wellness center. They will not have that attitude anymore. They will look at it a lot differently because they had no clue. And that's, like I said in the beginning, that's the scariest thing about addiction is nobody knows who has it or who's going to suffer from it. And I sure didn't. My mom and dad didn't think that I would go down that road. That I would wake up every day and take a chance at dying for 10 years straight. You know, I again, especially the kids of Darien, you know, parents put unrealistic pressure, man. And, you know, there's a lot of kids that walk around that community and they feel like they have to be perfect and they have to live up to something. And they're not telling their mom that walking on eggshells is really affecting me. I was excited to have this opportunity to revisit with you, and I can't thank you both enough. All three of you, obviously, Heather, but Katie and Ethan. You know, I applaud you, and I thank you.